Anyone who's used WordPress for any length of time typically wants to know, how do I change the colors and the fonts? And how do I add my logo or add a background color, etc., etc.? Well, in this video, we're going to learn how to do just that, how to customize your WordPress website. Let's start with the basics. WordPress gives you a way to customize the very basic aspects of your website with their default customizer. To get to it, all you do is hover over Appearance and click Customize. You'll be taken to a page where you'll see your website on the right and a menu on the left. The Site Identity section is where you can change the title and tagline of your site, and you'll also see some familiar items like menus, widgets, and static front page. We can also add a logo to our site in the Header Image section. The rest of the items in this menu are what we can use to customize the basic look of our site. As you can see, your options are fairly limited when it comes to what all you can customize by default in WordPress. Theme developers are really the ones who decide what all should be customizable in their themes, so every theme is different. You'll notice that the customizer has more or less options depending on which theme you have installed. Most premium themes come with a complete set of options within their theme settings that allow you to change almost anything you want. More popular themes tend to have tons of options so you can make your website look the way you want without writing any code or installing extra plugins. Unfortunately, in this case, we're working with a theme that doesn't really give us many options for customization, so we're going to need to look for a plugin to help us out. A good plugin I've come across in the past for basic theme customization is called Customify, but you're welcome to do some searching on your own to find the best one. It might be worth looking around to find one you can buy that includes support. That way you know you have someone to help if you need it. However, if you want to use a free plugin, Customify seems pretty good. So I'm going to install it, activate it, and head to my customizer. In this case, I happen to know that's where the plugin puts its options. Here we can see that our plugin has added some options to the default customizer that allow us to change the fonts using Google Fonts and colors of our website. Let's make a few basic changes so we can see how it works. Then we'll hit Save and Publish. And now let's close the customizer so we can see our changes on our live site. And there we go. As you can see, our changes are now live. Now you may be thinking, colors and fonts are cool, but how do I change the actual layout of my website? Well, your website's layout is determined by the theme you're using, so changing the location of the header or sidebars, for instance, would all depend on whether or not your theme gives you the option to change that. Even though you can't necessarily change the layout of your entire website without help from your theme's options, you can use plugins to change the layout of individual pages. Let's say, for instance, you want to build a page, like a contact page, but you can't seem to get the layout the way you want it to look. Well, there's a plugin for that. Before we install a plugin though, there's an important thing to know about page layouts in WordPress. Every theme has a certain number of pre-built page layouts called page templates. If you create or edit a page, on the right-hand side you should see a drop-down with the word template above it. This shows you which page template this page is using, and you can also change it to any other page template the theme developer has set up. Typically, theme developers will create at least a few templates, one with a sidebar, one full width, and one for the blog. This isn't always the case though, and they technically don't have to have any additional page templates if they don't want to. To see what a page template looks like, you may have to change it, save, and look at the live page to see what it actually looks like. But it's important to know that you do have options most of the time when it comes to how a page is laid out. Now let's move on to our plugin we're going to use to build custom page layouts. The plugin we're going to use is called Beaver Builder. I've used Beaver Builder in the past and it seems to work well for building custom page layouts. Once you've installed it, all you have to do is edit a page like normal, but this time click the Page Builder tab above the text editor. You'll be taken to a live view of your page where you can click and drag to add rows with up to 6 columns, or add modules like a text editor or video, or you can add widgets directly onto your page. Let's say we want 2 columns, so we click and drag that over to our page, and we want to add a photo on the left, and a text editor on the right, where we'll add our shortcode for our contact form. You could also put a contact form widget in here depending on the contact form plugin you're using. Now we can click Done and Publish Changes, and we'll see the live version of our changes. Here's the cool thing though. Let's click Page Builder in our admin bar to go back and make more changes. And if we click one of our boxes, you can see that it lets us change the width, text color, background color, and borders of our section here. You can even click and drag to change the column widths if you want. As you mess around with this plugin a bit, you'll see that you can create almost any look you want on your pages, which is something you would normally have to pay a web developer a pretty penny to do for you. Now, let me say, I always recommend using your theme's options to customize your website whenever possible. Using a plugin to customize your site seems convenient, but every plugin you run on your website slows your site down just a little bit more, and it's one more thing that can break. Plugins are by no means bad to use. Just make sure you always use your theme's options before resorting to using a plugin for customization. Okay, so now we're able to customize our new website to get the look we want. After you've spent some time making your website look nice, we're going to talk about WordPress security and how to keep your site from getting hacked in the next video.